Hi guys, I'm Lil and welcome back to Lils Takes, the podcast. Today we are going to talk about something we've actually already brushed upon because I've got some very special guests with me. So on the sofa is actually my whole management team. Hello. Hello. You might be thinking, it's a bit of an odd dynamic. No, this is going to be quite exciting. This is exciting for me actually because I've never heard any of this. Whatever happens on this is going to be new to me as well as everyone else. So I'm quite excited. So if we go from the end, we've got Emily, we've got Sam,
hello,
and then we've got Kath. You might have seen Kath actually on a couple of other podcasts. This is not her first time, she's the pro.
My first rodeo.
So the other week we talked about, me and Liam talked a bit about influencing and TikToking and how I found it and how I sort of got into it and what Liam sees as sort of like an outsider. And I thought it would be a good idea to have your guys' view on it. Guys's? Is that a word?
It is now.
I've made it up, put it in the dictionary. Your guys' like sort of opinion and view on it, because you guys have obviously had a lot more experience in the industry than I ever have, and I think you've got some good insights and a few good stories for me, so I'm going to try and prize them out of you later. I hope you don't mind, but yeah, I think you've got a good view on it, being on sort of the manager side of it and seeing it all unfold from that way, stuff that I would never know about. And because your job I could never do, I don't have the, if I didn't have a management, I actually don't know what I'd do. I think I don't want to sound like, if I didn't have a management, if I was just a girl doing this, but if I didn't, I couldn't do what you do. I couldn't be bothered, first of all. Yeah. I'd be like, I wouldn't know what to say, I wouldn't know who to message. But you guys do such a great job at like doing what you do and matching people up like with the right people. I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah. There's so much more to it than what people realise as well.
There is a huge side to it. And like, even we spoke about this as well, this podcast took like 6 months in the making to like, we came and visited it and you guys sorted so much of it for me. And I come to Liverpool because it's like where you guys are. So it's all like worked out around you and like us and how we work. So I think you do a lot more than probably people that watch things like this and just follow it, like influencers and TikTokers and stuff, definitely say. But you guys have got a good insight. So I might get into a couple of questions.
No pressure.
Let's go.
Only a couple of basic ones, because I spoke last time about the embarrassing things I've done when I first started this. Actually, not even when I first started, continues to this day. I still can't act right when we go to events and stuff.
Neither can we.
I'm not good at it.
Fall asleep on couches.
And that's
literally.
why we work.
God, speak for yourself.
Everywhere we go, Kath falls asleep.
No, fair enough.
It's true.
We make her have a cat nap before we go, so that she survives.
Cat nap.
A cat nap. That's what we should call them. Cat nap.
Cat nap. I was thinking about it earlier. I can't remember now how long I've been with you guys, because I think I joined when I had about 400, 500k. Yeah. And I was on the train on the way back from Sheffield.
I remember that phone call.
And Emily rang me and she was like, because I hadn't got any, I'd got a couple of messages like that, but I was like, it's a scam. It's a scam. No one wants to know. But yeah, Emily rang, she was like, you were the only person like out of the messages that I got that I was like, oh no, this sounds quite genuine. Like, and it's quite, nice. You were really nice over text message. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll give her a phone call. If I get scammed, then it's on me. So you rang me back and I was on the train and you're so genuine and so lovely. And I just remember thinking like, oh, this is just a really nice like group of people. Yeah. And if I'm going to do anything, I went home and said to my mum, I was like, Mum, I've just found this woman. And
it wasn't a scam.
It wasn't a scam. It was a nice lady. And she said she'd like to help me. And Mum was like, are you sure it's not a scam? I was like, no, it's not.
And then you met her and was like, yes, she's not a lady.
She's not a lady.
Is it, are you sure it's you? No, but yeah, I think I signed up in like the November and then it was the Christmas party in December.
Yeah, we literally met you straight away.
So is it coming up to, is it 2 years?
It's coming up to 2 years now.
Oh,
what
crazy.
2 years.
And Emily very much, I still remember her bringing you to the table and being like, we've got to have her. Like, she's going to be amazing. Like, we've got to. So, you found each other.
Yeah. I think
it's a love story.
It was. Our origin story. It's beautiful.
A train from Sheffield. How was it?
It was
a girl on a train. But yeah, it worked out really well, I think. And I didn't, since then, I haven't really looked back. None of us have that in this management, I don't think. But in the way it works and the way you guys work, I think is so personal, which is really nice. I didn't want to join a management that was like, I don't know, a bit more company, a bit more clinical. I think the nice like family atmosphere you've got going on, and with us as well with the clients, because I've made friends through you guys, through like Georgia and Ellie and Alex and all that. I've made loads of friends. So it's worked out really well for everyone. Anyway,
We're all about people, aren't we? Like,
yeah.
We don't want it
Personality is
to
a
be like
purpose, that's
robotic or anything like that.
I remember when I first like came to you, I remember Emily saying to me like, I chose you because I genuinely watch your videos and I like, because you said you pick girls who like, you genuinely do watch their content and like their content. I think that's great. It's not just people that are like,
for the sake of it.
Like they're up at the minute. Let's see if we can like,
there is some agencies out there who will just churn people out.
Exactly.
It's like, right, they're the man of the moment, or woman of the moment.
Yeah.
Let's get them. And, let's get what we can out of them and then leave them in the dust. That happens a lot with Love Islanders.
I was just going to say that. You see that a lot with reality shows like Love Island before they've even come out. And there's people like, oh, we're going to try and get this person. We've got this person. You're like, oh my God, you've not even met them. You're not supposed to. How do you, they're still in there. Have you got inside information that they're getting kicked out of Castle and More? Like, how do you know? But yeah, I'm going to say you do see that a lot with Love Island and things like that, especially reality TV shows, because as soon as you're in the public eye, people are going to want to sort of snatch you from that. But the way you guys do it, I think the way I came into it was really nice and really smooth, and it works nice for me and my lifestyle. And that's the thing as well, you guys work so, because I still go to university, and you're so understanding of everything that I've been like, oh, I don't think I can do this because I'm doing this, or if something, first of all, hardly anything comes to me that I'm like, oh, I don't think I'd do that, because you're Emily, you're really good at like knowing what's right for me.
And even if we're on the fence, we'll always bring it to you and say, it's your call.
Yeah.
And it makes no difference to us.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we're on the fence, we need to know it's good money.
But it's a lot of money, so will you do it? More likely to be like, oh yes, what was it again? I already said yes to the fee. No, but you do bring like things that I can definitely make money. Like if you think you can't make this for your own, if you think you can't, it won't fit with your page, then don't do it. Like it's not a money thing either. There's no money grabbing involved. Everyone's really like chill with it.
It's just authentic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think for you as well, it's really important that you can make it your own, like what you've just said.
I do think that is. I think with any like creator, especially like comedy stuff, I think it's a bit harder. It's a bit easier. Beauty influencers do not have it easy. I don't want to say, you've got it dead easy. No, you haven't. But with like products and stuff, you can do like get readies and testing makeup art and things like that. But when you're doing something a bit different, it's harder to make it fit with your page. You guys are good at figuring out what you think I can make fit, first of all. And other than that, you've got really good ideas for like when I can't come up with something, you come up with better captions than I can. I just sit there like, yeah, that's fine. Go for it. You think that's great. I'll just do that then. But yeah. So I think you're just very good at what you do in general.
Oh, thank you.
And this is just me arse-licking my management for 45 minutes straight. Anyway.
No questions, please.
Perhaps no questions. They'll be like, can we have the managers back on, please? Right. So I did have a couple of questions for you. Not like hardcore, like, what's the worst thing you've ever done? No. Just some things that I can maybe squeeze a couple of good stories out of you guys.
Some gossip.
So I just wanted to ask, why did you go into this job in the first place, and how did you get into it? Because it's something that I'd never thought of, like, and how do you become a manager of something? How do you become a social media manager? Did you like set out to do it, or was it something you like stumbled upon?
Is this something we'll answer kind of individually, because obviously we all have a different story?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'll just begin with, for me, it was never my intention to be involved in the influencer world. And it was funny when I first got the job, because I've always been in sales. Yeah. That's my background, sales. And what happened was there was an agency that was recruiting. This was way back when like reality TV or like influencer management didn't exist. Yeah. So a talent management was literal talent, like you better be a good singer, you better be a good actress, otherwise you don't have an agent. So we were one of the first agencies that began like a talent agency for technically non-talent, like reality TV or just someone who'd grown a large following on Twitter at the time. So I ended up getting a job at this agency that was brand new, and they'd basically taken on like the full cast of Towie and the full cast of Geordie Shore. So they were recruiting someone to, run their pages and help sell on their behalf. And I didn't even really know what I was applying for, but they'd put out saying, oh, we're looking for the best salesperson in Liverpool. And I was like, oh, that's me. That is okay. So I applied for the job and then I got it. And I was just thrust into the influencer world. And it makes me laugh because my friends would always, read about every celebrity. They'd watch every show. I didn't watch anything. Didn't watch Towie. I didn't watch Geordie Shore. I didn't know who anyone was ever. Yeah. And they were like, how can you, who literally reads like the crappiest magazines like Bella for grandmas, how can you possibly be working with, this style of person when you don't know who they are? And I was like, actually, I think it really benefits me. I was
going to say that. I think that works quite well. If you go in, like, you've got that unbiased opinion then. Yeah. You don't really know who it is, so you can just go on personality. I think that's
exactly. And you literally take them for what they are when you meet them.
Yeah.
And they tell you like what they want, what their goals are, and then you can work to that just based on that. You haven't got any preconceptions.
Yeah.
There's nothing. And I think that worked out quite well for me. Obviously it's different now. I try to be more immersed so that we can notice up and coming talent like you and go, right, okay, she will. But so it was never the plan. But once I got into it, I really, really enjoyed it. And we were one of the first agencies who ever monetized social media.
Oh, wow.
Because what was happening, it was just gifts.
Yeah.
So it was like on Twitter or, people would just message and go, oh, can I gift you this dress for this red carpet event or whatever? People would accept gifts. And even then they were really excited, like, oh, got gifted a dress because it wasn't a thing. And then I started saying, well, when they wear that dress, you're getting about 100 sales off the back of it. So, where are we benefiting here? We need to monetize this. And then that's when we started putting a price on the posts. And obviously initially brands would hate that.
Yeah.
But then as soon as they got into it, this is back when it wasn't even a saturated market.
Yeah.
So every post that went live on social did really, really well. So we were seeing massive return on investment, such as someone might pay someone £500 to do a post and then the brand was getting 30 or 40 grand back in their account the next day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it was really insane. But I just fell into it. I didn't ever choose to, but I'm very, very glad I got into it. And then just 5 years ago, I started, well, it was 6 years ago now, probably. I set up my own agency, which is obviously where Sam and Emily work. And I'm sure they'll have their own stories as to how and why.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good story though. I think that's a really good way of going into it. I think because a lot of talent falls into it as well. I'm not talent. I don't want to call myself. I've got the talent of TikTok. No, but like you're influencing. Funny. You do. A lot of people do fall into that as well, and I think it's a bit of like personality, being like personable with each other. Absolutely. You're having a similar experience, and that's good. Sam, how did you get into this industry? It feels like a job interview. Tell me, what can you bring to me, Sam?
So I kind of fell into it as well. So before working at Social Nation, you actually might not know this. So I used to be like in banking. So I did banking, audit and stuff like that. So it's a completely different world to like what I'm in now. So I knew Catherine and I was seeing her doing all this stuff and I was like, wow, I want a slice of this pie. Like, this is just mad. Like, all these brands that are coming to, and like I think over like just having like a bit of a friendship, like learning like what she was doing, like as you do like when you meet to doing something, you're like, oh, so what do you mean, like what's this? And then anyway, I ended up leaving bank and it was during like COVID time, just after COVID. I was like, right, I don't think I want to do this anymore. What can I do? And I was like to Kath for like 2 years, can I have a job? She was like, no. I was like, no, can I have a job? And I just kept wearing it down. And then eventually, but I'm very a strong believer that everything happens at the right time for the right reason. And I think probably for you and for like the business and me, like coming in at the same time, like it was the right time. And then like we started quite similar times as well. And then that was pretty much it. So I came in, got to grips with everything, and I'm very different. Like these have both got like university degrees. I've not got a degree. I wanted to go into like marketing, but then because I was so deep in banking, I was like, whoa, what to do? Tried uni when we were in lockdown, and I was like, why am I paying like 20 grand a year to sit in my bedroom and watch the worst Netflix video ever? Like shooters didn't even know how to start the recording, didn't even know how to put the camera on. And I was like, you know what, this is not for me. I'm getting livid. So I ended up coming out of it, went and did something completely different, and then came with Social Nation. So yeah, now I I'm just here.
Right place, right time. You're where
Yeah.
you're meant to be, Sam.
Exactly. I was found.
I was lost, but now I'm fine.
So yeah, my story is like kind of like, I don't know, I think mine's also as well, like for anyone listening who like wants to do something and doesn't necessarily have the qualifications or doesn't think they'll ever get into it. Like, if you've got a determination to do it,
down.
Yeah.
just drown people down. Find Kath and wear it down. But if you want to do something, like, just go and do it and don't let anything stop in your way. And it's funnily enough, like my mum, when I said to me, "Mum, I'm leaving the bank and I'm going to work for this agency and people get paid to post stuff on social and blah, blah." My mum was like, "That's not a real job." I was like, and now it's quite funny, like the roles are reversed. That a few months ago, my mum was like, "Will you come into that?" My mum was a teacher. So, "Will you come into school and speak to the kids about what you do?" And I was like, funny that job that doesn't exist. There we are. So yeah.
But even from my perspective with Sam, like he was different to me. He knew them all. He knew every influencer. So when I kind of got, when he was coming to me, the only reason I was saying no, by the way, is because he was my friend.
Yeah.
And I just think really, you're muddying the waters by doing that.
No,
and that's why
that.
I kept saying no. But then there came a time when I really needed someone and I knew he was driven and I knew he knew the influencers because he did. And I thought, you know what, he's got a skill there that I don't have. Like, I don't know the influence. Like, obviously I know more now.
Yeah.
But even now, I'm not spending my weekends scrolling.
Yeah.
I'm getting on.
Yeah.
I'm barely on TikTok.
Yeah.
So
it's only because we send you TikToks.
It's because of them sending me TikToks and sending me people that I go, yeah, I can see that. No, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, from them though, it's not me scrolling. I'm not scrolling TikTok. So you need people like that who know influencers, know what they're doing, know TikTok. And that's why it was a good fit and why I was like, okay, fine.
If everyone wants The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh yeah.
She's kind of like Miranda Priestley. And I'm like, what's her name? The second assistant who comes in, she's like, "That's the person." That's kind of like me. This is who it is.
The one that sits at the desk,
Everybody wants this. My favourite line.
Oh, that's good though. I think, if you bring in different skills to each other, they work together nicely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I think
sweet.
that's what's good about our team. Everyone's got a different
skill.
story, different skill.
Yeah.
And
so true.
I won't hog the mic anymore.
Pass the mic over to Emily.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, because I know you went to uni, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to uni, kind of similar about what you were talking about before. I started doing accounting and finance. And after a month and a half, I was like, wow, this is horrendous.
Wow, hate this.
I think I went to like 4 lectures and I was like, nope, I can't do this anymore. And then I ended up changing to do marketing with psychology. I just found psychology interesting. I didn't actually want to go into it.
Yeah.
And I think I always knew I wanted to do marketing because I liked being like creative. And then COVID happened. I worked in Tesco for a little bit while I figured my life out.
Big up Tesco.
And then started applying for jobs. And then that's kind of how, I probably didn't fall into the job, but I kind of did because I'd never really thought about doing influencer marketing. I guess it wasn't really something that I had an awareness of. Like, obviously I knew it was a thing, but I'd never like clocked that it was an actual job and like people actually sit and do that.
I don't think I thought it was a thing until I got into influencing, and then, well, not really. I just did TikTok, and then I saw that like people had management, and then management started to message me, and I was like, oh, people actually,
it's actually a
this
thing.
is a job.
It's not a scam.
Yeah,
And I
it's not
think
a
what's
scam.
quite funny is like there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that like
so
people
much.
don't understand. Like,
know.
my mates, even like my mates will go, "Do you just like run around like recording people and like playing with influencers?" And I'm like, I wish. Like,
I wish
I
that's what I
don't
did.
see the light of day because I'm in the office. Obviously, like, and then that's the other thing. Like, there's so many great opportunities that we get, like going to like events, like traveling the world. Like, we've been to some boss places that like you wouldn't get normally. But in order to play hard, you've got to work harder. And
absolutely.
I think behind the scenes, like you'll probably know, people message at like 8 p.m, 9 p.m. Like, it's not a job for the faint-hearted. Like, if you want a 9 to 5 and you want to run a home and log off and never speak to someone again until the next day,
Don't do it.
don't go into this industry because it's not for you.
Go work for HMRC.
I'll go back to Tesco with Emily. Take her job.
No, but that is true. Like, I try so hard not to message you. Like, if I'm messaging Emily, I'm like, I've got to do it within the hours of 9 to 5. But they, events and stuff like that, then you've got they're always in the evening. They're always on a random day in the middle of the week.
And like that's
we're used to that anyway.
Like,
we're used to that. It's not.
And we're also sometimes still doing stuff at like 8:30 at night. It's like if something
sometimes
comes in.
if I'm going to an event and you guys are like, oh, we can't make it, I'm always like, okay.
Hey, we love an
guess I'll
event, us
just-
three, don't
we
we?
love
know.
it. We love rocking up.
Yeah, it's
Imagine
always
that.
better when we all
I
go.
know, my
Yeah.
favourite event was that one when we ended up on that bloody ordering every like cuisine
Oh
possible
my gosh,
around
yeah,
London
we ordered,
with Georgia. Remember
Oh
we
my
ordered
God,
like
the
all the
Chinese.
sushi, then we ordered Chinese, then we
Yeah.
had dessert.
Yeah, and it took ages, and then we
Okay.
were sat up in the room. Yeah,
And then we were literally eating like this.
it all came out too tight to eat it now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah,
I think it's a good job as well for someone who, they are social, they like events, and to a certain extent, like they like being at good places, like a red carpet or whatever, but
Yeah.
they don't want to be the
yeah.
main
The
event.
forefront.
You don't want to be the one in the spotlight, but you want to be there.
You want to be there, but
Yeah.
you want to be hanging back because
Yeah.
someone else is there, and you're there for the pictures and you're there for the experience,
Yeah.
but you're not the main face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I always enjoyed that most because I've been doing this over 10 years now, all in all. And when I was young, I used to be like the opening of an envelope. Right, come on, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to any event, no matter what, I'm there.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And then obviously as the years have gone by, I'm like, you go. You're going to
feel this
I'm
one.
not
Now it's
coming.
me.
Now me and Emily, oh wow,
Yeah.
another envelope.
Another envelope
Who
yet
can
to
we
be
get to come
opened. Who will come to this? Yeah. No, fell off the chair. That's one of the parts of it I really enjoy. Coming to see you guys because obviously I live quite not actually that far away when we think about it.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
But coming up to Liverpool and like seeing you guys and going to events together is something to look forward to as well.
Yeah.
But seeing you, not just doing the events, but seeing you guys there as well. Because other than anything, on top of everything, we do just get on. Like
I think
Yeah,
we're genuinely
effortless.
like friends.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
yeah.
being friends with your clients, I think, is
Yeah.
like such.
it's important.
It's a nice relationship to have rather
Yeah.
than just being like having a client manager relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's like we're quite different in an agency where we do that as people that come into the agency. Like we're very keen on like get to know our other clients as well because being an influencer, obviously, yeah, you can have loads of followers or having a TikTok or whatever, but really work from home. Like it's very
Can be
isolating.
quite
Yeah.
lonely.
So one
Yeah.
thing that we're very conscious of is like get out, get to this event, get out
Yeah.
and see people.
Go and
like,
meet them.
We'd obviously, we love to throw a party. So we'll have like a party, get all the clients there. And I think that's something that people probably forget when they're watching someone. They
Yeah.
go, oh yeah, they've got all this followers, all this stuff. But really it's actually quite lonely
quite
when you
lonely,
think of
yeah,
it. That's why we're like, yeah, message me. And my phone always is ringing because
Yeah.
I'm like, hello, anyone want to ring me for a chat? Because it gets rid of that like loneliness side of it
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah, it does. I definitely see that. I was going to ask you guys, like, what do you think makes you different as an agency? But I think you've said quite you said quite a lot of it. But you are really personable. But I don't go to too many events. But they're always quite far away as well. Like if they're in London or Liverpool's not too bad. London, Manchester, they're hard to get to, but they are something that gets you to meet other influencers. I've never met any other people that do TikTok outside of events. Like you don't just run into them. It doesn't
On the
happen.
street.
Don't just meet them in
Yeah.
Tesco.
Especially
An
not.
influencer in the wild.
Yeah, exactly. I live in rural Derbyshire. I don't run into anyone in Tesco, apart from like my teachers. How unfortunate is that? But it is such a good way to meet so many people. That's the only way I've made friends. And the other way I've made friends, like influencer friends, is through you guys and through management. So it is a good. It's been a good social thing for me as well as like an actual work.
It's a bit of networking, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a bit
Yeah.
of networking, definitely.
Yeah,
You
it's
always say that as well
important.
to me, don't you? When you're like, do you want to go to an event? It's just good for networking. We'll
Yeah.
just
Well,
put
it
the
is.
feelers out there.
Yeah, you find some brands and it's good. But I think there's a lot of other agencies out there who are actually inexperienced and they've got lucky with a client.
Yeah.
Like I know a couple of people who, for example, the client, it's someone good off Love Island.
Yeah.
And it's, their cousin or their brother.
yeah.
And they've literally took that one person. Now it's very, very different to receive incoming emails for someone than it is to proactively help someone grow and get
Yeah.
brands. So if we're taking on someone, on TikTok who might only have a few 100,000, like obviously there's a bit of popularity surrounding them, but you won't take them on and then get 1,000 emails in your inbox. That's the dream.
Yeah.
To get a client there, you've got 1,000 emails in
Yeah.
your inbox is the absolute dream, and it's very rare. But when you're taking someone on, you're committing to proactively actually make them, money, put them with brands, work with them. And that's where we are very different because we're so proactive and we will email brands that we think fit.
Yeah.
We will do the outreach. I know many, many agents out there who wouldn't dream of just cold calling someone or blindly emailing. They're just sat there waiting for an inbox, a email to hit their inbox, and then dealing with it and just being lucky because they got a good client who gets quite a few emails in.
Yeah.
And that I think for us, that's our biggest differentiation.
Yeah.
Because we are so proactive in our approach and we don't sit back and wait for anything.
I think as well, like what we like to do is like we always want to try and work with someone to try and future-proof them.
Yeah.
Because like
absolutely.
this world is amazing when it's good, but sometimes it might go wrong. And then what have you got?
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
And so it's kind of trying to have those extra avenues of start a podcast.
Yeah.
Start
Do
a
this.
business.
You guys
Start
have been
a business.
Yeah, saying this
Put
to
it
me
into
for so
property.
long.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like make sure you've got a backup. Not just a backup account.
Yeah.
A backup like whole other thing.
Definitely.
That's what we actually put a focus on because, again, because my degree is in international business management and I spent a couple of years in China.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
I've built like a lot of e-commerce brands previously.
Yeah.
And I always feel that if you're going to take on a client, you're going to take them on, you're going to advise them on where they should be putting the money, what they should be doing, should they be starting a business, things like this, exactly like a podcast, that's just something else to add to your kind of bow.
Yeah.
But also there'll come a point where you'll have made loads of money just from influencing and we'll go, right, where are you putting that money?
Yeah.
What product do you want to create?
Exactly.
How can we help you build a business so that if your TikTok goes, dead tomorrow, then you're fine because you've got a business.
Jesus.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's, to be fair, I never even thought of that because you are so proactive. I never even thought, like Emily messaged me the other day, like I'll log into your Instagram if you want, I'll do the outreach for you. It didn't even cross my mind that people don't do that. Like that.
Oh, there's loads.
That you could
There's
be.
so much
I
that
could
it
be
just
with an
doesn't
agency that just was like, I
Just
got
sit
this
there.
email. If you want to, I don't know, do an
you want
advert
it?
for shaving cream.
Yeah.
It's there if you want it.
Yeah.
Like you guys do a lot more than I think anyone realised. Well, we said this before, but even other agencies do. And I think
And I think it's not just us being big-headed, like, obviously we are, but like the feedback we get from brands as well. Because like when I've done campaigns with some massive brands and they've gone, do you know what? Thank you so much for like being there when we
very
needed, very
professional.
proactive, very professional and gone,
Yeah.
right, okay, this on. And also like linking back to briefly what we said before is, like you said, then if an email came in shaving cream, we want Lily. If you don't want to do shaving cream, it's your profile, it's your thing. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going to go do
not
the
gonna
shaving
force
cream
you.
now or
No.
Do it
get
now.
off, go away.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I've seen people in the past promote stuff and I just think
That doesn't suit your
that's
brand.
Yeah.
not you and you've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
not forced to do this, but you've been advised to do this.
Yeah.
And really, I think you should have not.
Yeah.
I don't think
Pretty
that was
much.
for you, was it?
Yeah.
Was that your choice?
Personal
Yeah.
brand is just so important. It's all
Yeah.
part of what we're trying to build for our
Yeah.
clients. So
Yeah. I always think I get a bit cringed out. When you see a video come up on TikTok and you're like, that's so on you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love this shampoo. Oh,
Yeah.
do you? Because that's a fresh curly blow from when you put on your story yesterday. You went to
Yeah,
hair
yeah.
done.
I saw
So
it
I
on
don't think you
Instagram.
do.
Yeah.
You did not do
Are you
that.
sure that was you? But yeah, it does, especially if you watch someone religiously, if you're like a loyal follower of that person
You know them.
and they change up the way they're speaking in a video, the way they're acting for an advert, and you see that little ad in the corner and you're like,
You get onto it straight
You
away
can
before you
see-
even
Yeah.
see the ad in the
Yeah.
corner, pay partnership, not on you go,
Yeah.
this is an ad.
yeah.
Yeah.
And as and from a like influencer, I hate calling myself, I was trying to think of a different word to say, I
No.
just can't. From that point of view, people notice as well. Like if you were to do something like that, you'd get messages and
Yeah.
you're like,
People can see through
You're
it.
Sell
okay,
out.
hon.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
not for you.
I don't, luckily I didn't get hardly any. I probably got 2 in my lifetime of those messages being like, oh, this look like a bit of a sellout, didn't it? Because I think we do pick things really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are going to notice. You can't just like
Yeah.
slip away with things like that. And you can't build a reputation for yourself if you're doing things that aren't you,
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
don't fit with
Yeah.
you.
And even like say for example, like there's been times where I've had someone go, I'd love to do that, but I don't even know about it. So it's like, right, okay, speak to the brand. Can they trial it? Let's
Find
get
out
them
more.
some
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them give an honest review.
Yeah.
And then they can go on to do that brief.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
until they've actually tried it, it's a no.
Yeah.
And brands, to me, like brands love that because like, you know what, actually,
They like it.
yeah, that shows that
Yeah.
like they're actually going to give us an honest review. And if it's not great, it's not great. But 9 times out of 10 it is
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you actually use the product and then you know what you're talking about instead
Yeah.
of reading from scripts. And like I've seen people before where they've gone, I love this. It is great.
Yeah.
I love this. This
Same.
is great. Into the camera and I'm like, oh my God, I want to
Yeah.
crawl into a ball.
Yeah. This is not what I was thinking of when I came
Yeah.
in.
Another one is everybody asks me about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No one
had
has
so
asked
many,
you.
so
No
many
one has asked
messages
you.
asking me
Yeah.
about this. Oh, have
One
you? Show
person.
us one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was
No
it
one's
you?
asked. Get your DMs up now.
Yeah.
Show me. Yeah. No, I understand. I get that. Right. We're gonna change the vibe up a little bit. I'm gonna ask you some questions about obviously you don't have to say any names. We're not gonna out people.
Yeah, we've got NDAs, so
I
we
also-
can't chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I've signed NDAs. I said this to Emily earlier. Has anyone, like as a client or just in general in other situations, has anyone asked anything a bit odd of you or a bit too much? Something that you're like, oh, are you sure you want to go down this avenue?
Sam's clearly got one.
This is Sam.
No, I just think it's like mad stuff. Like in the past, like, no, but not even like it's mad. Like I've done like client shopping for them, but not in a
Like an
go to
Asda shop.
like
Yeah.
because they've got so much going on in their life
Yeah.
that for them to be able to do their
To create the content.
Yeah.
and to be
Do
able
it.
to focus on what they need to do, like which is what I'm kind of here for. I'll alleviate that stress. Like obviously we're managing them. If they're trying to go to Tesco and get the stuff, I feel like I'm big enough Tesco. Yeah, it's not paid.
Any Tesco
With
payers.
Tesco, I know.
Sponsor
Any
Tesco back
Tesco's,
from the
any
Hampshire.
club cards. But I think just going and doing that big shop, yeah, I'm sat there like, okay, I don't know, I've never been to this shop in my life.
Undisclosed.
When
shop.
you know, it's like when you go to a shop, you don't know, like you're walking around for hours. Okay, yeah, I might just spend an hour trying to find something in there, but they've done 2 pieces of content while I've been
Yeah.
here. So I think that's probably the funniest thing. Like,
Well, we've done loads. Like we've been babysitters.
Yeah,
For a
babysitters.
lot of
Yeah, I've been
clients that
weighed on
have been
so many
mums.
times by
So many
like,
times.
like
not by adults.
Just by adults. Anyway.
we've so many
And
times.
back in the day, it was a lot worse. Like I think now people are more, kind of focused on this whole work-life balance.
Yeah.
While as when I was first doing it, people would phone me at 3 a.m. going phone me a taxi. I'm like, I'm not your slave.
I've like gone to people's
yeah.
houses at 7 a.m, dragged them out of bed, put them on a train to London,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
gone to the office and done a full
Yeah.
day's work.
Sam has been a human alarm clock.
yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah.
Because I can't get up. Okay, well, I'll be there. Give me
I'll
a key.
make you get
Give
up.
me a key and I'll turn up and I'll get you out of
Yeah,
bed.
even if you
And
pull
you'll be on
a
the train.
fake sickie, you're still going.
Done it.
But yeah, and I think that's the stuff that people don't see on the background of,
Yeah.
although like we do all these extra things, then we still get all our stuff done.
Yeah.
So
It's not always
for the faint
glamorous.
heart. It's not
No,
glamorous.
it's not.
Yeah.
There is some glamour to it, obviously,
Yeah.
some of the stuff, but predominantly it's just hard work.
Yeah.
It is, and you've got to be resilient as
Mm.
well. Like if you're going to cry every time someone says something a bit,
Yeah.
unfortunate. People they get in moods.
Yeah.
As
They really
everyone
do.
does, like
Moody.
I get in moods.
Yeah, everyone gets in moods, but like they can, their attitude can
Don't I know
really
it?
stink.
Don't know that.
And you've just got to kind of go oversee it and know that in an hour's time they'll be fine again.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also because people have got so much going on, they could say something and then an hour later they're like, hiya, could you do this for me? And if
Dead
you're
sorry about
if
that.
you're sat there
Exactly.
fuming on the inside
Yeah,
thinking, no, I won't, then that's just going to not get you anywhere. So you've definitely got to have a thick skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because like sometimes like stuff will get said and they'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe someone just said that. And I'm like, what?
We've
and then like,
actually
what do you mean
learned
you
to
said that?
laugh
And then I
at it,
read it
though.
back and I'm like, oh yeah. But then I'm like, well, I've said
Yeah.
that 19 million times. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
something original.
But also when you have got like a really strong relationship with them,
You know what they're like.
you know what they're like,
It's
but
not
also like
personal.
you can give it back to an extent. Like
Yeah.
we're never gonna stoop to their level
Yeah.
if they go bad.
Yeah.
But you might just be like, absolutely stop talking to me like that
Yeah.
now. And then
It brings
they'll
them
kind
back
of
to
go,
like
oh,
ground.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you've got that relationship, it's fine.
Yeah.
You can do that. But if your relationship isn't great, then it's like, how dare you speak
Yeah.
to me like that?
Yeah. See, I don't think I'd mind, to be honest. If well, Emily calls me a fanny sometimes. If I don't do something. Stop being a fanny. Okay.
That's probably from me.
we call Emily a fanny.
Emily's the biggest.
We all
seeing
just
as I
like
was saying
lash
it,
fannies
Emily's the biggest fanny in the world.
It's ricocheted back to me. No, but like if you like wanted me to do something, I was like, oh, I don't know if I
Stop
can.
being a fanny.
If I was a bit nervous about doing something like the podcast, I was like,
Yeah.
Don't be a fanny, do it.
yeah, nervous about it. I was like, oh, I don't know if people will like it. Everybody's always like, don't be a fanny.
But
It'll
I
be
just
fine.
always go
Yeah.
with the motto of like, you don't know until you don't try. Like, okay,
Yeah.
it
What's the
flops,
worst
and
that's
what?
gonna happen?
We
Yeah.
get back to the drawing board, we do it again, or we go, why did it flop?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do this instead.
Why did it do
Well,
this?
we'll listen to it.
Yeah.
You'll have three listeners.
Yeah. Just put it on replay so I don't feel bad. 6 hours of listeners.
Driving down the motorway with it on full blast so people listen.
What's that podcast?
Compulsory.
No, I've listened to it 6 times today. It's not that good. But yeah, so we'll go to a different question. That was good. good answers, guys. This is quite similar. What is the funniest interaction you've had with a client? Have you ever had anything that you were like...
I feel like me and you both have the same one.
I don't know.
Does it involve naked bodies?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Like full on, like fanny
in my face,
nipple, like everything in my eye.
Well, how did that even come about though?
Because I think
you can tell me.
I'll be
when
honest with you, when you're doing content with someone
yeah.
in their house, and like say if you've got a couple of brands on, when you get that relationship with someone, they just get their kit off. They're in their house, but they just think, "Oh God, you're there." But you kind of go into like overdrive. Like I didn't sit there and go, "Oh my God."
Yeah, you just
go,
on.
"Okay, put this on." Right, next one.
Yeah,
and you're
it's not
already
like you're already
you're already three things ahead.
Yeah.
So then you're like, "Oh, can you just put some clothes on?" Here you go.
Yeah.
That's why Emily's a fanny, because she cares.
She's like, I don't want to say.
"Oh, I can't look at this." I'm like, get your kit off, get this on.
At least it's. I thought you were going to say, "No, I just walked into. She was just already naked."
No, I think
she
with them,
the door
like,
naked.
I think with what's good about the team as well is like we have that healthy like abuse. Do you know what I mean? Like we've all toughened up in this job, not because we have to, like, and it is what it is. Like it's fun. Like even like events I've been to a client, and like, oh, my boobs fell out or something.
What was that?
No,
I don't even know where that came from.
My boobs
And
fell
then like
out.
we're like hit them round the corner, like taping them back up while no one knows.
Yeah.
And then you walk out and you're like, nothing to see here.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's probably been so many that
There's
we've just
loads
brushed
of funny
off.
things. Like
Should have prepared for this.
because they get drunk at events, we get drunk at events. Like
And then
it's kind of like a two-way street.
What happened?
Like, what actually happened?
I
there?
definitely
Like, we don't
apologised to Lily for being too drunk after an event.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry.
When we went to Manchester and we.
Is this when you?
Where did we
This
go?
is when Sam still holds a vendetta about this because he
Yeah, because
wasn't
they
there.
they went out and didn't invite me because I couldn't go. But
There's a reason you were there, and then it was the next morning we met you. Me and Liam met you in Spoons. You had like sunglasses on. You came and sat down. And you were like, "I'm so sorry about last night." I was like, "Emily, it was brilliant."
What was she doing?
It was hilarious.
Me and Georgia had a fight over a
Food fight.
cupcake.
Yeah, you did.
they had a full-on food fight.
Because didn't you eat the cupcake or something? It was George's cupcake.
No,
or-
it was my cupcake, but she wanted to share it, but no one gets it
Emily
between
doesn't
me and
share
food.
food. Emily got no. Do you want to know something fun about Emily? The other day she ordered a tortilla from
Tortilla.
Whatever. She ordered a tortilla. Got the cut that out.
I've got the episode.
Anyway, the bigger it is, she got like on Deliveroo, they printed the sticker and it was like, "Thank you for your 56th order." I was like, "Oh, I feel sick." I was like, "That's enough."
Tortilla shame.
Oh, God.
That was really sad.
Yeah,
And then
that's true.
boycott.
And she doesn't look like she eats that much, but
She is
by
a
God.
goddess. When we
By
go out, we
God.
have to put her on like a spend limit. Otherwise, she orders the whole,
No
the
6
whole
courses
menu.
for you.
Not
I
tonight.
just love food, okay?
That's why we all have in common.
Yeah, we do.
Love
We
a
do.
scrap.
We
we
all
were in
love
the
food.
we were in the middle of Manchester, and it was me, you, Georgia, and Liam. I took Liam with me. I took Liam to that collection event.
Liam's like our honorary client.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
And it was all pink and no men.
Always with the
And I was
twirls.
like, "Come on, Liam, it'll be fine." And I took him with me. And you and Liam are hilarious. You've got such a good friendship. And me and Georgia were stood there like holding all the bags. And you went, "Come on, Liam." And you just ran off, both of you, into the distance. I was like, "Where are they going? We're meant to go like in this club here to the right." And you'd gone. And you were like, I've got to tell him something secret. And I was like, "Well, what?"
No,
was
we
it?
were really drunk. Can I just
Yeah.
say this wasn't like
Oh
sober?
yeah, no,
I'm
this wasn't sober. Emily didn't just come up with something and be like, "We need to go now." No, you were really drunk and you just kept running off all directions.
Like children.
Can someone have an eye on Emily, please? She's never here.
What was the secret?
I can't remember.
I have no idea.
Really
I don't
drunk.
even think Liam knew. I think you
I don't think I knew.
No one
No.
ever
It was
knew.
probably Emily going, "If we run away now, we can go and get food."
Yeah.
And then
And
when
we'll
we
pretend we lost them.
the second Christmas party, last year's Christmas party, you're like, "I think we should go and get a Chinese." And everyone was like, "No, Emily, no one wants a Chinese apart from
Yeah,
you."
sure, trying to drag
I
me
really
out
want
of
a
the car,
Chinese.
out of the car.
I would
one
like a Chinese.
just round the corner.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
it's
even
open
that
till
far.
5 a.m.
And Archie was like, "But it's a full-on sit-down restaurant, Emily, where we'd have to sit down and get a Chinese." And you're like, "That's fine."
That is okay.
No,
Did you
we
go?
didn't. It was
Did you
3 o'clock in
go?
the morning.
She goes.
No, I don't think I went.
No, I used to.
I did go the other week,
I love a little 5
actually.
a.m. Chinese.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then go home in bed full. Like, it's like the best. And then you
Brilliant.
wake up the next day unhungover.
Yeah. My last question that I wanted to ask you guys before we wrap it up in a little bit was, have you ever refused to work with anyone? Have you ever like refused a client? Has someone come to you and you've been like, "No"?
Yeah, loads of
I don't think-
times.
Really? Like, quite a
Probably
few?
at least once a week, I would say.
No way.
Yeah.
I assumed it wouldn't be that. I didn't know if it was a
Yeah,
common
and
thing.
do you know what? It's not like, I think it's not like we're going, oh, it's because
Not you.
we a quality over quantity.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
the way
We're
we
only a
have to
small
be. We're only a
team.
small team.
So we
Yeah.
can't stretch ourselves too
Yeah.
thin. And obviously we are, actually this is a good plug, we are always looking for staff. But the caliber that we're looking for is, you know, it's really hard to find that. To find someone who's like driven, who's doesn't just want that 9-5 kind of cut off life.
Yeah.
It's hard to find. So we have a lot of people in and out the door, but we try and grow the agency, but it's more of a struggle getting staff, and we're not going to spread ourselves too thin so that our current clients feel neglected.
Yeah.
So we very often knock people back. Yeah. And there is times where we'll like really evaluate their profiles, what they're doing, how we think they'll get on with us, etc. And sometimes we just say no. Or sometimes it's just a case of genuinely we don't have enough manpower to give you what you need. You need someone else, and we'll be authentic with that.
Yeah.
We won't just take someone on thinking, oh well, you know, we'll figure it out. Because if we lose other clients, it's not worth doing that.
Yeah, and also it's not worth, it's not worth like not performing to our ability to them, because then if they go around and go, oh, they're crap.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're not. We're just, we were busy. But
Yeah.
More than anything, we have to make sure that our current clients are it's not just, like you said, like spreading ourselves thin for the sake of it. Like, it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Especially if someone comes to you and they're like, I want to start a YouTube channel, I'm doing a podcast, I'm also on TikTok, but my Instagram, I would like to grow that. And you're like,
but also like,
what
and
if I
that's
have
the thing.
different jobs?
Yeah.
It's funny because we've done that with you over 2 years.
Yeah.
So like, imagine if
Yeah.
someone came once or all that once, and that's where it's quite hard. And I think the hard part for us is like finding staff and stuff like that, like Kath was saying, is it's a very niche industry.
Yeah.
And you've got to
is.
be sure that the staff coming into it aren't in it for the wrong reasons, of maybe want to become an influencer themselves, or are only bothered because they want to focus on working with one client because they love watching them on TikTok, so they're going to put all their energy into that one person.
Or they go to pieces because it's someone.
And feel fine,
We've had that a lot. Like,
when people have walked in the office and gone, someone's walked in the office and they've gone,
Like me
and
when I
I'm
saw
like,
Jake
do you want to
Cornish
give
at
them?
that first party.
Bring that one up
That's
again.
fine when you all do it together, but I'm like, no, get up and offer them a cup of tea, like give them a drink, like
Act natural.
act natural,
Yeah,
and
come
then
on.
it's like this and the thing, like no, I'm more natural than that.
You know, I've actually got an Instagram.
Follow me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the hard part that comes into.
Yeah.
There's a lot that you've got to kind of go through.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, often.
Yes, that was one of the things
That's
that
a long-winded way.
I never really think about like how many like people approach you as well as, because there must be a few people that you don't fit as well. Like if you don't think they fit with the brand, then they don't.
Yeah.
That's what, because I think right now I don't know if we've built it to be this way, but you said it to me the other day, like you've created your own little brand. As a brand, I am myself. Like
You are?
Yeah, you are, Lily.
it's mad to me that this is
You are
what it
Lils
is.
Takes.
Lils Takes.
Lils.
She Lils Takes. But it's crazy that we've got this little brand, and it's nice to have somewhere that it fits in with you guys nicely, and we'll sort of like work together and work around me, and I work around you, and I don't know, it's really
It's a good
lovely.
team, isn't it?
It's a good team,
A
and I
partnership,
think
teamwork.
having
it's the dream way.
like a little small team as well, like it's not a massive not a massive company. I think that works quite nicely as
You
well.
get to know everyone.
Again,
I
it's
think
that
everyone knows
personal-
what's going on. Everyone's
Yeah.
relevant. So say,
Everyone's
for
across
example,
everything.
if Emily's off, or if I'm off, or Hannah is off, or anyone in the office is off, we all know what's going on.
Yeah, it
so
doesn't
it's
matter
not,
'cause
it's
we all
not a
know.
thing. We all
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Like, I get messages from all of you. Like sometimes Hannah will message me like, "Oh, can you do this?" Or like, and I know all of you. I'm like, "Oh yeah, Hannah sent me this, but I'll talk to Emily about this one because we're
Yeah.
working on different things." It's nice because I know you all. I've met everyone as well.
Yeah.
And that's really lovely that there's that effort to meet everyone.
Yeah.
It's not a massive
We
company
always
where
like
you
to do
never
that.
meet
We
the
like
person
to
who's
do
doing
stuff.
your
We
work
always
for
like
you.
to meet, and like
We
that's
like
why
to
we
do
love doing like when we do a
And
Zoom,
it's
even
fun
if it's
as
a
well.
Zoom, if it's not face to face,
Yeah.
it's a Zoom. Like, hello, show us your dogs jumping on Olivia, which is
Yeah.
very frequent with you.
Yeah, it is. I'm always on the phone. I'm like, "Sorry, Emily, there's pixies in the background. I can't shut her up." Like yesterday, you were on
Pixies,
the
yeah.
phone
Okay,
to
because
me.
my dog was in the background last night.
Yesterday Emily called me and she was like, we're mid-conversation, she went, "Shut up, Pedro." And then we're back.
Poor Pedro,
Oh,
literally has a
Pedro.
dog sleep.
Dog
Did you?
No, he's the most
so
pampered
gorgeous.
pooch in
Yeah.
Liverpool.
But yeah,
Next to Gus.
I said I'm gonna have to bring the animals.
We'll have
and
to
just
bring the
let
dogs
them,
on. Oh my god, dog
Yeah.
episodes.
Just let them run around.
We'll have to get them like
Chaos.
little
Oh
my God,
matching outfits
No,
for this
because her
breed.
dogs was absolutely chill through all
It
the
would be
leads.
chaos where we couldn't let them loose. I'd have to keep them like grip on them like this the whole time because they'd be like scrabbling to get away. No, we couldn't. Maybe
No
one.
dogs were hurt when the recording of this episode.
Yeah, and we'd have to have a new set. I'd have put like puppy pads everywhere. I'd be like, I'm just sorry, I'm scared they're going to piss on your sofa. But,
You're really selling bringing the dogs.
Yeah.
to the
Maybe
studio.
not.
Let me
They're
bring them,
thinking
though.
Red Dogs about
It will be fine if you just no, they would be a nightmare. Maybe they'd be friends with Pedro.
They can sit in the office. I think they would
Start
scrap.
chewing through my wires.
Bring them to run. They're all right. It's if I leave them alone too long, they do it on protest. You little protest wheeze on the floor, like, where have you been?
Oh my God, yeah.
If you don't
Revenge
get back here,
wheeze.
Revenge
I'm
wheeze,
going to
yeah.
eat these wires.
Yeah.
Revenge
You've been
wheeze.
warned.
Yeah, Pedro used to do revenge wheeze so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
old
dog just sleeps. I've not had all this stuff.
I don't have a dog.
I've got a camera
We've
that
got
watches
honorary
them.
dogs. We've got office dogs.
We've got a little camera that watches them, and they've discovered where it is. So we switch it on now, and she goes and stands directly in front of it with a little face like this in the camera. So you switch it on, you can't see anything other than my dog's ears or like her eyes. Because I'm like, Pixie, what are you doing? And she's staring directly at me. Just like, I can't see the other dog. I don't know what they've eaten. I have no idea.
Maybe she's covering up for the other one.
I think she's wise to it.
Shh, get out the way.
She's wise to it. Anyway, we've gone on a bit of a tangent
Yeah,
there talking
sorry.
about the dogs. But that is about it anyway. Thank you guys for coming on. and
Thank you
talking
for
about
having
it.
us.
No,
been fun.
anytime.
Yeah.
You guys are
You
always
should do it
welcome
again.
on my
Yeah.
podcast that you guys do for me anyway. Thank you for suggesting it. I love it. But yeah,
And we love you.
Yeah, you'll keep hearing us gagging in the mic when you're talking. Hello.
hi guys. But we do mic them up and put them in the background sometimes.
Yeah,
so
if
we
you
have
hear
little
like
questions.
a voice from above.
You'll have heard Emily's
Well,
God
now you've
voice.
met us, so it's me. I'm
Yeah.
Sam. This is Emily. You'll recognise the voices. And
voice
we might
behind
have
the
Hannah here too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So if you guys want to see them again, send me an email. It's like I'm a celeb. If you want to keep Emily in this week, message O2. But we have
don't.
got
Let us know which one's your favourite, by the way.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
I'll
do
follow
not.
everyone back.
I'm going to do a
Talk
poll.
about someone wanted to build a profile.
We know why Sam's here. But yeah, so drop me a little email in the little podcast email if you want to see anyone again, or if you want to hear me talk about something that you guys are interested in that I've not really covered, or any what are they called? Dilemmas.
Yeah.
If I've got the brains to actually give you a good answer, it might be something random, but you know what? Any opinion's a better opinion than your own if you're worried about it. So send me any dilemmas, any confessions, anything like that, if you want my opinion, or anyone else's that's sat on the sofas. Or if you want me to bring any guests on that you think would be good. No one too high profile though, because I get very nervous and I don't want to ask.
She does like to fangirl.
I do. I don't want to be reaching out
She's
to
the one who
like,
goes into shock.
yeah, if you're like, oh, can you bring this? I'll be like, oh my God. if I can keep myself calm while they're sat on the sofa, I'll bring them on. But yeah, anything like that, drop me an email, guys. It'll all be anonymous. So thank you for coming on the pod.
No
And
worries.
you for having us.
Thank
I
you.
will see you guys all very soon. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.